Hey gorgeous! Welcome back to my channel. I know it's a little bit late in the month of January. Favourites for the previous year tend to be done like in the first week or so, but I ummed and ahed a while before I decided, do you know what, I really do want to sit down and like sum up how my 2019 was. It's great to have something to look back on so you can be like, ooh, I really liked that way back when. I'm not saying everything that I loved in 2019 came out in 2019. These are just products that I fell in love with or re-fell in love with or purchased more than once. These are all products that I use in my personal time or nights out or different events and that kind of stuff that I go to or I continue to go back to from the previous year. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment of what your top 3 products that you couldn't live without in 2019 were. I don't want to drag this out for too long because I know favourites videos can sometimes be like, I've seen some that are like 40 minutes and I'm like, did you just love everything? Like, I mean, come on. For the most part, I'm trying to keep it very minimum and just really, really, really pick that one product for that category that I absolutely loved in 2019. I've been using this little bad boy, the Glam Glow Setter, for literally the last few weeks of 2019. This snuck in right at the end. Now I don't feel like I could do my regular makeup without it. This spray, and like to start my makeup routine, is absolutely bomb. It locks in a ton of hydration, and for like such a small size of the product, just to try, honestly fallen in love with it ever since I've started using it, and like it just improves my makeup game. So it's a favourite, the last minute favourite, but still a favourite. This has been the one. This is the Optical Illusion Primer from Urban Decay. As you can see, I'm partway through this jar. I've gone through a whole one, half of one from 2018, and this is like possibly my 3rd one. I hear it's on its way out and being discontinued, which is such a shame, but it does mean I get to go shopping. And it literally, it's one of those that's like, it's a silicone based primer that blurs the pores and helps makeup last longer, but it doesn't break me out, it doesn't sit on the skin weird, it just smooths like so perfectly, and I feel like it was like such a slept on product. But I have loved it for such a long time and I still absolutely like raved about it last year. 2019 was the year of foundation. Like, it seemed like every brand, every sister brand to every brand and every parent company for every brand released a foundation. Massive shade ranges, hats off to yours. It's amazing. But everybody was doing a foundation last year, so there was a lot on the market to try. My tried and true for 2019, NARS Radiant Longwear. It's one that I went back to quite a few times over the year. Mine's in the shade Vienna. This is definitely one that I started to use in 2019, right at the start of the year, and it's one that I've continued to go back to or use for like events and stuff like that throughout the year, so it's definitely a fan favourite. Concealer, I've got 2. Now, I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is one of the colour correct shades, the peachy one for dark circles underneath the eyes. I swear by this, I've been through at least 2 of these. Definitely not in just 1 year. Really like the tiniest amount underneath the eyes. But yeah, I couldn't live without one of these. Same goes for Born This Way Concealer. I bought this in February. Now, I don't do makeup every day, especially when it comes to personal makeup, but this lasted me, the original one that I bought, from February, and I didn't replace it until end of October, beginning of November, so that was a long time. It still has some product left. I was just feeling that the shade was a little bit too yellow, so I switched it out for Snow, and I have never looked back. But yeah, definitely found it. Let's talk powders. There is one powder that was launched last year that absolutely stole my heart. Pro Filter by Fenty in the shade Butter. Now, I can use this underneath the eyes. I can use this to bake with. I can set the entire face with this. It just gives such a soft focus. It is a stunning shade. It smells amazing. It's unreal. You get almost 30 grams of product, which is a lot. So as much as the powder is a little bit up there in price, it's over the £20 mark. 28 grams of product. I'm not even like, I'd probably say about getting to about halfway through. And I've had this for a while. It's a stunning powder if you haven't tried it yet. 2020, put it on your list. You have to. Let's talk bronzer. In 2019, bronzer was not something that I loved. like, you might have seen a few of my videos where I use different bronzers. I went back to some of the NYX ones. I once again went back to Hoola a little bit. She has definitely seen some better days, but I'm trying to make it a mission to use up some of my older products. But as the year progressed, I got more comfortable with being a little bit more bronzed in my makeup game. So I fell in love with the bronzer in 2019, basically. And that was the Marc Jacobs bronzer in shade Tantric. I know this is like a little bit pale for some people. For me though, it's that perfect warm shade for my skin tone. I love getting a big fluffy brush, just dipping it in this and getting it on all over, and it has fast become one of my favourite parts of my routine to add that bronze effect. I know, who am I? One thing that I love, that I think everybody needs to add to their makeup kit or makeup routine if you don't already, and shoot me for it because I can hear you all screaming right now, is blush. This, by MAC Malba, is one of my favourite blushes, but I really got back into blush in a big way. This colour is just, like, it's perfect. It's like that peachy kind of colour that's got a little bit of pink to it. You mix a little bit on top of where you put your bronzer and it just looks sensational. I think everybody needs a little bit of blush in their life. And if you don't wear blush in 2020, try blush. Honestly, Melba or something like Peaches, if you've got a similar skin tone to me, will change your life. I'm not even joking, will change your life. Let's get into one of my favourite topics. Highlight. I love highlighter. If you hadn't noticed, some of my videos I look pretty wet, I look blinging, I look OTT. This is one of the categories I couldn't narrow down to just one product. Sorry guys. I got two, but I picked two variations in formula. So I've got a loose highlighter, which is by Artist Couture, and that is one of the Diamonds Glow Powders in the shade Illuminati. Now you've definitely seen me use this in my summer videos, and it just gives that wet, but like beaming, like banging highlight. Like, it is stunning. Another firm fave is Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This one is the Skin Frost in the shade Sarcophagus. Now, you've not seen me use this one in as many videos, but that kind of colour and like the pigment is insane. Like, I mean, insane. This is going to last me a long time. Now, I did used to have Ice Cold, which was a little bit too frosty for me, and I fell in love with the formula, and between these two, that is where I get most of my glow. Before we get into eyes, brows and lips, let's talk setting spray. I started 2019 with everybody's favourite Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Felt it was a little bit too dry for me. Moved on, tried a couple of different formulas, got this bad boy around the time of my birthday. Have never looked back. I love the continuous of the mist. It gives me such a dewy finish. Only thing is, you can't really tell how far down these are. This one's the limited edition packaging. Of course, it's the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Honestly, it is a stunning formula. I see why everybody raves about it. There was two eye bases that really stood out for me and that I used quite a lot. It was the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. Now, this is something I've gone back to over the years. It's something that really does wear really well if you're out all night. And then I bought this, the P. Louise base in shade Rumour 01. I had a lot of issues with this in 2019. I'm putting it in as a favourite for the way it makes eyeshadow look, and for taking photos and recording videos. It looks sensational. It really helps the pigments to pop. It really is the best thing to use underneath eyeshadow. Is it the best thing for longevity? No. Hence why I included the Urban Decay one. A lot better for longevity. If you're going out throughout the day, I don't think P. Louise is designed for that. Designed more for an artist approach. So quick, done, videos, snaps, taking the makeup off basically. If you want to wear it all day and all night, not going to be the best. Those two are definitely the two that I went between, whether it was doing videos and looks or whether it was going out and about. Those are the two primers that I used. If you did watch my videos in the past and over the summer, you know I don't really tend to do a lot with my eyebrows. They are quite, when I say quite full, they're very full. I don't really pencil them in anymore. I don't put a pomade through them. All I kind of use now is the Brow Revival by Max Factor. This is in the shade Black Brown. This colour is fabulous. It's dark enough, but it's not too dark. I can just brush it on, forget about it all day. It doesn't budge, don't have to think about it. It's a quick brow game, and I'm done. Honestly, I've gone through 2 of these already, and I've already got one upstairs waiting for me to crack open. One of my favourite topics is eyeshadow. I bought a lot of palettes in 2019. The Beauty Bay Mitchell collaboration, the Alyssa Edwards Anastasia Beverly Hills collection from ABH, Riviera palette, to Morphe Pride palette, to the Morphe 39L. Like, I bought a lot of palettes in 2019, so narrowing that down to 1 is hard. I've managed to narrow it down to 2, and they're totally different palettes. I did 2 Prides last year and had a really colourful summer when it came to my makeup game. One of my favourite palettes was the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. I don't find this one as raved about as much as some of his other palettes, in particular the one with Shane Dawson, and I did toy with putting that in. I haven't had it as long, and I do use it, but I found this spoke to me a lot more. I've got some neutrals that I can play with, I've got fun pops of colour, I've got stuff that I can use as highlight. This, I got a lot of use out of. It saw a lot of love. I mean, it doesn't look like it has, but believe me, it's super pigmented. I used a lot of those palettes, especially during Pride season. My other choice in palette, you're gonna die. If you know me at all, you will know my stance on this brand. This palette literally snuck in there in the last 4 weeks, but I couldn't put it down. Now, I'm talking, of course, about Huda Beauty. In the past, I have used some of their palettes and been a little bit underwhelmed, especially the Rose Gold Remaster palette. I bought that one, I spent quite a lot of money on it, and I was like, oh, it's so underwhelming. Like, the pigment was off, the shimmers are off. It just did not do what I expected a palette to do, especially for the price point. So that kind of put me off the brand for a while. I got the chance to go to London before Christmas, just after my birthday, and I came home with one of these. This is the Rich Nude palette in the small ones. Now, I'd already heard that the smaller palettes that she does, the little like capsule palettes, if you will, have much better payoff and a lot better quality in pigment. But honestly, I was not ready for how much I would love this palette. I bought it on a whim. I was like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's not as expensive as the bigger palettes. It's quite affordable. But have not been able to put it down throughout the month of December. When I've had some free time and I've been just wearing random eyeshadows or just playing around, this is the palette I've gone to. Like, the colours are so complementary with each other. The shimmers work with a brush. That is the biggest thing that has changed my mind on trying more Huda Beauty shadows. The shimmers apply with a brush. I do want to have a little moment to talk about mascara. In particular, this small little ditty. Now, this is not the full size of the Marc Jacobs mascara. I had it in my collection for a while. I think I got it in 2018, but it was never opened and used. And in 2019, I found it again and have fallen in love. It gives me such like perfect volume. I've become a fan of a little bit of a clumpier lash, so you can see what's going on, and some drama, and this gives me it. By now, if you've seen my summer videos, Jeffree Star lipsticks are what I've raved upon for a long time. If you thought there was not going to be one in this video, you are mistaken. That's where the collaboration comes in. So we all saw the series with Shane Dawson and with Jeffree Star. It was monumental. It was fantastic. It was a brilliant way to launch a collection that's never been done before. This shade, since I got it in Are You Filming, is my perfect red. I am obsessed with this colour. It goes great with anything. It dries to like this candy kind of red finish. I wore it on Christmas Day. I love it. Could not be without it now that I've got it. Another lip product that I didn't think would make my favourites in 2019, that I was like, I wear a lot of lipsticks. I own a lot of lipsticks. I own a lot of lipsticks from when I've worked for different brands. What do I go back to a lot in my personal time? What do I do a lot of when it comes to doing my own makeup? Believe it or not, and these were late in the game, almost the same time as I got the Jeffree Star stuff, was these by House Laboratories. These are what I've got on my lips already. Honestly, I wrote this off as an Amazon collaboration from day one, like a lot of us did. These pencils are so creamy. by themselves make a fantastic matte lipstick. Honestly, like butter on the lips, they are super, super, super creamy. The colour in Myth, look at that nude. Come on. The L'Oreal lip gloss in shade Venus. I was like, gloss, I love a gloss. But this is like a gloss with something else. It's got almost enough pigment that it's not quite just a gloss, but it's not a lipstick either. It gives like comfort. It's not sticky. It wears really well. Like, I became so obsessed with when I needed a nude on the go and I wanted to put a gloss on, but I didn't want to find a gloss that matched my nude. I would just pick up those two, just whack it on and go. It became that much of like a thing for me that I want to try more, I want to buy more. I wish they just sold the glosses by themselves and I would buy like so many more. Okay guys, so that was a long video. I talked really fast, hope you kept up. I rambled and ranted quite a lot, but those are a rundown of some of my favourite products from 2019. It's not by any means all of them. It was me narrowing down the things that I used and I loved the most, just by being like, if I say primer to you, what do you pick? Yeah, okay, the Urban Decay one. If I say foundation, what do you pick? In some instances, I did have to pick more than one product. But yeah, that is my rundown of my first ever favourites video. I will be back next week, guys, with maybe another tutorial. Who knows? But yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.